Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a warm welcome to our MIM Crucial Conversations, special edition in conjunction with the International Women's Day celebration. It's truly heartening to see such a gathering of individuals eager to engage in this important conversation. Today's agenda promises an enriching experience with empowering speakers, engaging panel discussions, and networking opportunities aimed at fostering personal and professional growth. As we embark on this event, let's reflect on the theme of this year's International Women's Day, Inspire Inclusion. This theme underscores the importance of inspiring others to value and embrace women's inclusion, fostering a sense of belonging and empowerment for all. We're thrilled to have with us here today Yang Berusaha, Mr. Azlan bin Abdullah, Vice Chairman of the Malaysian Institute of Management, and esteemed Mr. Kabinesh Eliathambi, Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Malaysian Institute of Management. Our esteemed lineup of speakers comprises of individuals who have dedicated themselves to breaking barriers with driving positive change for women worldwide. We're privileged to have with us Puan Siti Suryati Kama Asnawi, Chief Human Resources Officer at the Human Resource Development Corporation, Ms. Shanti Subramaniam, Council Member of the Malaysian Association of Women in Digital and Technology, Puan Rahimah Ibrahim, Director at the Malaysian Institute of Management. Unfortunately, Puan Rahma Ismail from MIDA was unable to make it because she had some health issues. So Ms. Shanti will be taking her place today. So let's make the most of this opportunity to learn from each other, to share our experiences, and to inspire change. Let's use today as a catalyst for progress and a celebration of the incredible achievements of women everywhere. Now, it's my honor to introduce our esteemed Director of the Malaysian Institute of Management for her welcome address, Puan Rahimah Ibrahim. Puan Rahimah brings with her a wealth of knowledge and experience in the field of management and leadership. Throughout her career, Puan Rahimah has been a passionate advocate for gender equality and inclusion in the workplace. Her dedication to empowering women and fostering diversity has made her a respected leader in our community. Please join me in welcoming Puan Rahimah Ibrahim to the stage for her welcome address.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Puan Siti Suryati Asnawi, Human Resources Officer HRDC. It's really our pleasure to have you, and thank you for your precious time here to join us on this special event. Yeah? And Ms. Shanti Subramaniam, and she's an expert trainer, coach, and also very much in demand in the industry for her expertise. Yeah? And we also appreciate and thank her for being here today. On the spot, we call her like a bidan terjun. Thank you, Shanti. Yeah? From MIM, we have Encik Azlan Abdullah, the Vice Chairman, Mr. Kabinesh Eliathambi, CEO, and Ms. Stella Jacobs, GM, staff and members of MIM, distinguished guests, very warm welcome again. Assalamualaikum and salam madani, and a very good morning to each and every one of you, and not forgetting those people who are online on the Zoom, and welcome and happy to have all of you. On behalf of the Malaysian Institute of Management, MIM, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this International Women's Day 2024. On this International Women's Day, I want to take the opportunity to also wish very happy International Women's Day to all the incredible and courageous women out there. Today, we celebrate this amazing contribution that women have made to our society, breaking down the barriers and achieving incredible feats of strength, courage, and innovation. I would like to share a quote, yeah? Women, if the soul of the nation is to be saved, I believe you must become the soul. such a powerful quote by Coretta Scott King, the wife of Martin Luther King. She emphasizes the crucial role of women play in shaping the future and also the nation. And it underscores the importance of women's voices, leadership, and contribution to bringing about positive change and progress in our society. Today, as we gather to commemorate the International Women's Day 2024, we embark on a journey of reflection, celebration, and empowerment under the resonant theme of Inspire Inclusion. As women leaders in respective fields, we bear the responsibility to pave the way for inclusion, diversity, and equity. We stand as vanguards of change, breaking barriers, challenging the norms, and championing inclusivity in every aspect of our professional and personal lives. Inclusion transcends mere rhetoric. It is the driving force behind the progress and innovation. By embracing diverse perspective, experience, and the voices, we embark the full potential for our teams, organizations, and society at large. Today, let us reaffirm our unwavering commitment to inspire inclusion in our every interaction, decision, initiative that we undertake. Let us amplify the voices of the marginalized, uplift the underrepresented, and cultivate environments where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to strive. While strides have been made, the journey towards gender parity still persists. Despite this, we witness a rising tide of women emerging as leaders at the corporate, entrepreneurial, political spheres, while we have yet to achieve the 30% club for women on boards in Malaysia, we take pride in surpassing the global and also the regional average of 26%. Well done, ladies. Let's give everyone a big round of applause. Don't worry, we are getting there slowly, but surely. Yeah? In my capacity as board member of esteemed organizations, including 10 years in MIM, I have basically witnessed the endurance challenges that every woman is experiencing at their workplace. From gender stereotype to overcoming imposter syndrome, and the hurdles remain consistent. They are not alone, and you are not alone in this journey. Agree? Can I request everyone to stand up for a while? We want to do just little activity. Okay, so now I want you all to, okay, this is the symbol, right? Okay, so I want you to find a partner. Okay, we have a partner. Find a partner, you have a partner, yeah, find a partner. So, yeah. Number 3%, triplet also can. It's okay. 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 Please say along with me, yeah? Be loud and clear, yeah? 3, 2, 1. Together we inspire inclusion.
Together we inspire inclusion.
Women need to shift from thinking, I'm not ready to do that, to thinking, I want to do that. And I will learn by doing it. Yes, fellow women, let's just do it. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Rahimah, for your warm and inspiring welcome address. Your words have set the tone for what promises to be an insightful and empowering event. We are grateful for your leadership and dedication to promoting gender equality and inclusion in the workplace. Your presence here today is greatly appreciated. Now, let's embark on our first track, focusing on the critical topic of fostering inclusive work environments. Leading this session is a distinguished individual with a wealth of experience in human resources and a strong commitment to creating inclusive workplaces. I'm pleased to introduce Puan Siti Suryati Kama Asnawi, the Chief Human Resources Officer at the Human Resource Development Corporation. With her extensive expertise and dedication to promoting diversity and inclusion, Puan Siti Suryati brings invaluable insights to today's discussion. Please join me in welcoming Puan Siti Suryati Kama Asnawi.
Okay, very good morning. Assalamualaikum everyone. To Madam Rahima, Puan Rahima, Ms. Stella, Shazima, Mr. Kaminesh, thank you very much for inviting me today. It's a pleasure. And to all MIM members, as well as ladies and gentlemen, happy International Women's Day. It's so good to recognize women on every year, one date that we have to recognize every day actually. Yeah? It's just that it's a special day that usually we do something above and beyond on 8th of March, International Rights, yeah, globally. So today we are going to celebrate diversity and inclusion, and we acknowledge the importance of creating a workplace where everyone feels valued, respected, fostering an inclusive work environment. So I also want to thank you, MIM, for organizing this so-called special edition, I would say, yeah. So we had also a special edition yesterday at our office during our open day. So if you don't know, every Thursday, HRD Corp does open day or on every Thursday. But yesterday, we had a special edition open day. So we do our open day every Thursday, not just in Central, but at all regions as well. Yeah. So if you go to just managing slides, do you have a clicker?
Yeah.
Okay. Come. Okay. So diversity is being invited to the party, and inclusion is being asked to dance. Verna Myers. Okay, so what does the definition of diversity means? Is the presence of differences within a setting, such as race, ethnicity, gender identity, age, etc., etc. So there's no bias, there's no stigma, there's no nothing. Everyone is invited to the party. Where inclusion, we say that it practice of ensuring individual feels belonging and support within the organization or wherever you are, right? So overview is on fostering an inclusive work environment is creating an environment where employees are valued, respected, and being empowered. An inclusive work environment equals to organization success, right? So just a little bit, let's take a look at the benefits of inclusive work environment. Yeah, before we go through challenges, yada yada, let's see what is the benefits of having inclusive work environment. It's boost employee engagement, where it leads to a higher retention rate and employee feels valued and respected. It as well as boost employee experience, where employees are naturally able to speak up, voice, yeah, able to share ideas without not being confronted in a box, right? Feel appreciated. It fosters creativity, right? It fosters people to think outside of the box. It gives that comfort level to them, yeah? It builds a sense of belonging. So regardless of gender, age, differences, sense of belonging is very high, as well as the organization is fair and transparent, right? And then it makes leaders more effective. It improves decision making by considering diverse viewpoints. Because when you have inclusivity, diverse background in your team, everybody has a say and everybody has a different perspective, right? Because everybody comes from a different background of society. I was brought up in Penang, someone was brought up in KL, someone was brought up in someone was brought up in an orphanage, someone was brought up in a silver spoons, right? So those, your points, your view, or where you see is different, right? I look from a perspective of somebody else's shoes. The other person look at the perspective of myself, which is not wrong. Everybody have a say. So it's well respected that we listen to everyone and we are able to take the input of how can that view of point be able to bring that ground for our perspective, for our organization. What's best? Either that point of view is for our organization, for our stakeholders, of whoever that we are talking with, right? So, what are the common challenges for an inclusive work environment? Well, Madam Rahima had mentioned, right? Unconscious bias. You know, she went through unconscious bias, microaggression, stereotype, and lack of representation. So, what is unconscious bias? In various ways, especially in hiring and promotion performance appraisal, right? So people look at age, how they look like, their appearances, beautiful ke, cantik ke, skirt pendek ke, skirt panjang ke. You know, those are unconscious bias that you look. Although sometimes you perform well, but you look a little bit different, you voice a little bit different, that could skew certain perspective towards you, ladies, right? But we don't see that in men. They can wear the same jeans every day, but you look at their performance, why? Right? So this is our common challenges, I would say, right? So stereotypes, you know, we are being judgmental and we have this perspective of stereotypes in detrimental in our organization. We face single women are more performing than mothers or people who are married. I don't think so. At this age, this is my personal view, yeah. I just delivered last year. I had a 10 months baby. My performance doesn't determine, my baby doesn't determine my performance, right? During my confinement, I don't put my KPIs or my performance or my objective for the organization down. We don't do that. Even, I don't encourage everybody to be like me. I even work during my maternity. So don't be like me, okay. Okay, that is my personal point. But I don't feel that a suffocation or an issue for me. I'm passionate. I'm passionate in that sense. I was already signing document on the day that I delivered my baby. So I'm crazy lah. Okay, in that sense, I don't be like me lah. But if you're passionate and you don't find that as an issue or you're forced to do that, why not? I feel that I'm valued. I feel that way. I'm valued in the organization. I feel happy to help and support and still be there, though I'm not there. So, but it's your sense of belonging. So it's also your perspective in the way you see half full or half empty, right? So another one is microaggression, right? So we say comments, behavior, discrimination, attitude towards women, you know. Sometimes you're commenting on women's appearances, questioning on their qualification, you know, and then making jokes or slander or even sexual harassment in that sense, right? And sadly, 56% of Malaysian women have experienced at least one form of gender discrimination in the workplace, and that's still high, right? So if you look at the the lack of representation, I actually have statistics on that. So let's look at the next slide, where, why do I say it's still a challenge? Because in top management, in women who did the survey, yeah, HRM Asia 2023, yeah. So in top management 2023 data in public sector, women is only 30% representation, and in private sector is 38.8% representation. Does this also, this percentage looks like because, you know, we were forced to, because of the quota size that was given to us, which is 30%. So is it just a tick in the box? Or are we married to be there? Right? So if this is tick in the box, I question this as well. We should be able to be married and we are competent enough to be there regardless of the quota. So are they feeling just 30%? So 30% done. Okay, let's move on. Let's find a male candidate. Is it? That's not it. We should be present at the board, the top management, because we deserve to. We have the competency to. It doesn't matter if it's 30%, if it's 80%. For whatever reason it is, we must be able to be married and we must be able to be there for ourselves, that we deserve to be there, not just matter of the number, right? So women make up only 35% of the technology workforce in Malaysia, 35%. So maybe this one, Manu Shanti can speak about this later on, right? So this is true statistics. We are only 35% representative there. Yeah, women make up only 35% of digital economy is run in Malaysia. So 35% is also still rather low. And then also a statistics. It's not I said, it's a statistics says that median wage from female managers and professionals being approximately 1,000 lower than the male colleagues. I'm also quite surprised. Okay? So, does that mean that if one male and another female have the same qualifications, same experience, same performance and things like that, why are we paid differently? I have not experienced working in an organization that does this. I hopefully I don't need to ever. But there is still there, one. Because this is a statistics from Digital News Asia, right? So, where can we amplify fostering an inclusive work environment? Yeah. To look at safe work environment, yeah, sense of belongings, eliminate the stigma and bias, provide a platform, tools and session for employees to speak up and tailor employee engagement activities. Why is this? To look at a safe work environment is also differ from one industry to another. Okay. So most probably in services industry, we are okay. We are almost, there's not much of challenge of our setup of our offices and things like that. But if you're in industry such as in oil and gas, if I would say, such as in construction, if female worker is there, do they have proper toilets? Do they have proper things for them to change their clothes? Do they have all these things? So it's a psychologically safe work environment. So it differs from one industry to another, right? So we need to assess this issue. I know that for a fact, Petronas and others, last time, those days, they do have this, but they have already improved a lot in having safe work environment for women at their rig, at their offices and things like that. They have done a lot of investment, I would say, millions of investment to ensure that women are taken into consideration in the workspace environment, safe workplace environment that they have. So they invested a lot to ensure that engineers, whoever there are able to feel safe in that sense. So that's Petronas, yeah? But what about the rest of our industries, our organization, and things like that? So to start from the front door and top to bottom. So for instance, we review at our hiring and promotion performance appraisal, right? Our policy, DI, how do we do it, right? So we review that. Do our hiring, we put specific gender there? Do we do that? Specific ethnic, specific language, or things like that? So look at how we do our promotional criteria, right? Those are the things that we can start. Where do we start in doing all to remove all the gender barriers and as well as that? Those are a few of the things, right? And then start from the leader to foster diversity and inclusion. So we have to train our leaders to not be stereotyped, to not be microaggression, to not give unconscious bias, to not that. We have to inculcate that in our culture, in our organization. Yeah, and then trained and to communicate, and then maybe having DEI, diversity, inclusivity, and exclusivity policy to progress further, to make this is a key priority. Many big organizations have this DEI policy already, so we should already foster this to all organizations actually. Yeah, so training the team on diversity, inclusion, and differences, and to increase the awareness. Because sometimes unconsciously we do this. Unconsciously, right? So, just a little bit of example. Okay. Let me do this. Okay, move on. Okay. Example that in HRDCOP, I just give you a little bit of example in HRDCOP that we are moving into the right direction. Yeah. So the percentage of women representation in our senior leadership in HRDCOP is 41.6%. And if I just take the C-suite with my colleagues, we are 50% representation. Yeah. So in the women in organization wide, 53.2% we are female workers. I have 700 number of number of employees in HRDCOP, and 53.2%, this is the whole entire region, is represented by women, right? And 19% of women in HRDCOP is being the top talent and achievement. This is from our 2022 statistics. Yeah, so really, we do not see gender as an issue. We recruit people not based on gender. We recruit them based on their credibility, their competency, as well as not by their look, as well not by whatever perspective or challenges that we mentioned just now. Yeah. So we even many of them as well, the new ones, we recruit are fresh grads as well. So that's another challenge as well. Yeah, people outside refuse to actually recruit fresh graduates. Many, I don't have the statistics, but I can see that many of our interns were converted to our permanent employees right after. So Daniel is one of them. Yeah, so Daniel is in my team. So he is one of the, he can give his testimonial. So what are the things that we try to do for women in HRDCOP? We do yoga session for women only, you know, dance session for women only, yeah, Mother's Day celebration. We have definitely the International Women's Day celebration. We have lunch series. We have Puspanita activities. We are also a part of government agency, so we also do that. But we also have many engagement series, which we have on weekly basis that includes everyone. yeah, includes everyone, not just in central, in regional, all our people. So that's the inclusivity that that was also a differences that I had to overcome, where people in the region says, you know what, HQ always do this and that, but we are always away and we did not have a chance to do this and that. So those were the first things that I came in and says, you know what, I've been in your shoes. Because I was with Nestle before and I was in the manufacturing plant and I was not in HQ, I feel the same. I say, I'm going to remove this barrier, you know. I'm going to remove this. I understand how you feel totally. So all the activities that we can include them, we will include. If they cannot do it right at the place, we will give a budget. Now you do it. You know, we give that option to you. We do. Everyone have the same equality. Everyone have the same chance to celebrate aesthetics. Yeah. So, as well as a little bit of statistics in women representation in PNM, Bank Negara Malaysia, the senior management, this is also a good composition, it's 58%, and it manages 58% men and 42% women, and in managers level there are 43% and 57 women. So it's actually also good, quite good composition in BNM, in Bank Negara Malaysia. In PwC, we have in the diversity and inclusion report, 39% global partners are women and 56% directors and managers are women. So these are the good. Some organization has included and walked the talk and have done pretty well in managing this. Also in Petronas Women as a senior leadership, you can see that, you know, they have 29%, 28%, and this is a very tough environment for women to excel. Having that kind of percentage, I would say that they have done pretty well because they were only at 2% or 3% previously, and for them to be at this level, I think it's quite immense result that they have done. Yeah. So just a little bit sharing, like what Puan Rahimah mentioned the other day, just now. I too had the same mindset when I was given this role. I took up this role. I mean, I'm not that old, neither am I young. I would say just nice lah, okay? Okay, so I took up this role. It was my career progression as well as I'm already in HR, definitely I want to be a HR or someone. But I didn't see that coming earlier than I imagined, right? So when I was given this position at that early age, I was quite overwhelmed. In the sense that, are you sure I can do it or not? Can I do it or not? Will I be respected or not? Can I, you know, those are the things that I could say that I'm actually the youngest in the top management. I'm actually the youngest in the top management. Yeah? So to be sitting in the board to represent, you know, it's quite intimidating. And to be able to challenge certain people, my colleagues in top management, it's also not easy, you know. Those are the things that will fly in my head. They will say, who is this young chico here trying to challenge me? Yeah? Who she thinks she is, you know? Those were the things that, yes, I thought so as well. But one good thing is I also had a mentor who was a lady, was my ex-boss, who also appealed to me. I would say women needs to encourage women and to develop women. And she said the same thing as well. You know what? So what worse could happen? Right? What worse could happen? If you don't try, you don't know. So he says, right. If not, I'll just go back to my previous role. But it was not the package that was attracting me. I'm an agent, a government agency, right? You're not that far high like we were in TLC, some others. But it was the role as well as the spirit and as well as my passion for the nation. And also,
I see there's a lot of room for changes and what I can do in the organization. If I go to another set of organization, GLC, MNC, and things like that, things are pretty much in order, right? I just need to make sure that, this is done, you make sure that it's done, things like that. But coming into this organization, it's a transformation organization, but we are still transforming, right? Till today, right? So there's a lot of transformation going on. Externally, what happens internally, more than that, right? What happens, you see the transformation is also, wow, they're transforming. Inside, it's triple the challenge of what we had to do outside. So it gives me a platform to carry on this. So that's where I accepted, and thankfully it has been my third year. And I hope that I can still continue making the changes in Shardicop under my leadership, and to what do you call that? To develop more talent, as well as from the young, those new joiners, those fresh graduates and things like that, to inculcate and to develop them going up their career role and their career ladder, as well as giving a right platform for the internal employees to be able to feel included, inclusive, and feel voiced out. And I'm very happy that our latest engagement survey, we had an 87% percentage. So that was the first time we did, and it's actually higher than the normal norm percentage in a high performance organization in a MNC or any other organization outside there. So I'm very happy and pleased, but it also gives us a challenge that we have to maintain, and we have to make sure that we are able to better than that, right? So I want to end this by saying that in the future, there will be no female leaders, but there will just be leaders. Thank you very much.
I would like to extend a special thank you to Puan Siti Suryati Kamal Asnawi for her insightful session on fostering inclusive work environments. Your expertise and dedication to promoting diversity and inclusion have set the stage for our panel discussion. Now let's transition to our second track, focusing on supporting women's entrepreneurship and economic empowerment. Leading this session is a distinguished individual with a wealth of experience in economic development and a strong commitment to advancing women's empowerment. I'm delighted to introduce Ms. Shanti Subramaniam, Council Member of the Malaysian Association of Women in Digital and Technology. Ms. Shanti brings a wealth of expertise and insights into supporting women's entrepreneurship and economic empowerment. And we are privileged to have her share her knowledge with us today. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Shanti to the front.
Thank you so much. If there's a test for improper speech.
Right.
And one of the reasons, if I can, let me get it. Thank you so much. Because we are hybrid today. But one of the reasons I just jumped the gun when the invitation was given to me is because I'm going to talk about something that I have been passionate for years and years and years. All right, two words there: inspire, inclusion. All right, and coincidentally, I'm currently the secretary of a society called Inspire Society, where we have, just through crowdfunding, we raised more than $1 million and have 700 students. The power of inclusion, guys. The power of inclusion, just through word of, just friends, 500, 1,000, 50, and we have helped out B40 students, about 700 of them, right? So it's so important to inspire. So I'm going to talk about two things here, the first I and the second I. The first I is inspire. And I believe the I, it means the inspire must come from ourselves first. You know, when we said this, all right, we have to be inspired for us to go out there and inspire women. And I've done a lot of programs on entrepreneurship, spoken to more than a few thousand women on how to be a successful entrepreneur. And the first thing I say starts with I, starts with me, all right, having the right courage. Because I find with my work, you know, coaching these people, women entrepreneurs and so on, the biggest challenge is the mindset. The limiting belief, all right, is the one that sometimes becomes the obstacles to their growth. Right? So I'm so happy to say that be inspired first. Start with the I am inspired. And using this platform that MIM has given me, all right, I would like to invite all of you here listening and being part of it. If you can make it a target for this year for you to inspire 5 women. Because all of us, right, we can bring something to the table. Whether from our experience of being a mother, from the experience of a single mother, from being a person who started 2 businesses, failed, and then started another one. I'm sure we have something that you can start. You mentioned the word mentor, all right? So can I invite all of you here, especially all the women here, all the women on this day, that if you could find 5 women, all right, and if there are 1,000 people who take up this challenge and inspire and mentor 5 women, right, by end of this year, we'll have 5,000. Just start a small number, 5. So because it's all within our hands, right? Because just to share with you, you know, I've had cases where a single mother comes to me, a husband was a lorry driver, he abandoned her, you know, and that a few minutes of conversation, and I could see the change in her face. I could see, hope. I could see hope. I could see confidence from fear. Fear moving to something becoming positive. But just that conversation. So all of us here, guys, we don't have to be trained to be a mentor. We don't have to be trained to help someone or inspire someone. We just have to bring the right intention. I want to help someone. And it can be giving them the time. Giving them the time. It can be a colleague. It could be a colleague at the workplace. Sometimes they need this voice. Being a coach, right? I always felt I'm so happy because I get paid just by just talking, right? Stop, just listen, talk. But when you see the transformation, that's when you feel that I've earned it because, you know, the purpose, the outcome, the outcome that you can see, all right? So if you could go back to the office and look at, is that 5 person that I can inspire? If you can go back to your neighborhood, I'm sure your neighborhood, there are people, you know, it could be a small stall, somebody selling nasi lemak there. Like the other day, you know, just in my neighborhood, one lady started selling all this lemang and lontong, sorry. I bought a nasi lemak. It was so spicy that you can't even take the second mouth. And what I decided is to go there and give her feedback. Give her the feedback because I said, if you want to grow your business, all right, you need to look at, I said, did you try yourself? I said, you makan dulu tak? She said, tak, kami masak aja. You just cook and say, I said, I'm not here to know because feedback, because remember, feedback, some people feel slighted, they feel like, you know, they say something, yes, but I think if we change the paradigm and see feedback as a gift, it's a gift, somebody has given me an opportunity. So I told her that with a bit of pep talk, I said, I'm here not to criticize, but I'm here to take you to the next level, to help you grow because you're doing this for a reason. When she's setting up a stall, I'm sure she's not doing that because she's got nothing else to do. She's doing that because she needs the money to support her family. All right, so I'm not counting the time. Somebody give me the cue on when to stop. Right? So the first I is inspire. Right? Let's go and inspire at least 5 people this year. I'm sure you do more, but let's put a target and keep a log, keep a journal, and say, these are the people and how I describe them. The second one is in terms of inclusiveness. Right? So coming from an entrepreneurial perspective, and even I'm also happy to see a 35% women in digital. So the association is quite a toddler, I would say. But the idea to set MAWID, which is the Malaysian Association of Women in Digital, came from because we found that more and more women, are in the field of technology. They are in the digital space because digital is here to stay. The future is like definitely digital, and the founding member, that is Ms. Bovana, and also Ms. Amuda and me, we all started having this conversation about where can these women go to, where can, a kind of a circle be created to help each other, to network and so on. And we're so happy, although we're just about 2.5 years now, like last year, through our collaboration with MDEC, we reached out to almost 300 women in digital itself, where we ran workshops on TikTok. We ran in 5 locations, in KL, Penang, in Ipoh, and also in Johor. All right, and these women who came, right, they did zero about TikTok. Because TikTok is easy, fast, all right, and you can earn income by being at home. All right, and we wanted more and more women to look at how, if you have constraints of family to take care, yes, you can still be in the, the entrepreneurial world. The ecosystem is there, guys, because I've done work with INSCAN, I've done work with a lot of women associations such as NAWEM and, in Sabah in terms of SWEPA, the Sabah Women Entrepreneurs. I've done a lot of work with them, supported them and so on. I find that the knowledge is still lacking in terms of the ecosystem. Malaysia is such a beautiful country. We have fantastic programs, fantastic grants available, but sometimes it's not being made aware of it. So I'm going to sort of wrap up my session by saying, if you want to be inclusive, and drive growth, number one is be part of a system that can give you the knowledge. Be inclusive for the purpose of knowledge. Join associations. Sometimes associations only cost 120 a year, 150 a year. It's such an investment. Right? So be inclusive, for knowledge purposes. And be inclusive, in this sense, belong to, for skills development. I'm talking a lot of associations here without their permission, so I hope there's a disclaimer here. I'm just telling you, in my personal development career aspiration, I want to be an author because I want a book to leave behind as a legacy, right? And I joined MAPS, which is Association of Professional Speakers, and they had a book writing workshop, and I'm on the way to write a book in 6 months. Alright. God willing, this May, MAPS convention, at least some there's 40 pages, I'm an author. Kind of thing. But that inspiration came because I'm being mentored now. I have a mentor, and we belong in just a WhatsApp group, about 15 of us there, encouraging and sharing information. If you have a designer, and last week I put my cover page design, and all my group members gave me feedback. This one nice, that one not nice. So just by belonging, I tell you guys, the kind of benefits you get is beautiful. So I'm encouraging you, all of you listening in, also the entrepreneurs who are listening, belong to some association, not just your school friends. We all have a WhatsApp group, so many school friends, university friends, but belong to a professional body, belong to associations that's related to your passion. That means you're going into digital, then belong to some kind of association or networking group. Because very important today in being inclusive, being part of, as I said, growth ecosystem that's available, find the time. Because time is not, but remember, a lot of things that are doing Zoom today, a lot of events, a lot of talks, every time you attend all these kind of events and talks, you grow. So build your, your knowledge ecosystem, build your skills development ecosystem, and very importantly is I have a cash for bigger. Everybody was attended my entrepreneurial talk, cash for cash. I said, you want to make more cash, develop your KASH, the knowledge, the attitude, the right belief and skills, and finally, the right habits. KASH, cash for cash. Right, so which means fine and coincidentally, Kalinik and everybody, right, I was driving this morning and listening to radio, and because it's Women's Day, there was a talk and there was a speaker, right? I think her name was Mohana Priya, and she was giving a fantastic talk on how to be, how to inspire yourself and others and so on. And I want to quote one of the things that she said just now was, find your support system. Because she said, all of us, we need the support system, whether it's through mentors, through our family, all right? Because it can be a beautiful journey. There are a lot of challenges being a woman, all right? We have to balance family, we have to have friends and so on. So find the support system that will be your pathway to the growth. Right, with that, thank you so much. So be inclusive, all right, and inspire. Thank you so much.
Before we move on to our next segment, I would like to take a moment to express our gratitude to Ms. Shanti for her enlightening session on supporting women's entrepreneurship and economic empowerment. Ms. Shanti's experience and insights have provided us with valuable perspectives on this important topic, and we are truly grateful for her contribution. Now, moving on to our panel discussion for the day. Joining us for this insightful panel discussion once again, Puan Rahimah Ibrahim, Puan Siti Suryati, and Ms. Shanti Suramanu. Facilitating our discussion today is our esteemed moderator, Ms. Stella Jacobs. As the General Manager of the Malaysian Institute of Management, Ms. Stella brings a wealth of experience and expertise in leadership and organizational development. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our esteemed panelists and moderators as they share their insights and engage in meaningful dialogue on the importance of fostering inclusive workspaces.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So how do you feel so far? Ladies, you're not loud enough. Again? Inspired. What about the men? Sorry? Inspired too. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful that today not only we have the presence of all of you here, but we also have guests who have also joined us on a hybrid, and it's a hybrid system today. So today, thank you so much because we're also very inspired. I'm inspired to have heard the wonderful stories from 3 powerful women. Okay, and again, in the room itself, I'm sure there are so many other fantastic and resilient stories that we have. But something that really resonated with me as I hear all your stories that you've highlighted. I'm just going to say a little bit about myself. Again, in a nutshell, in school, I was a very shy person. Would you believe it? No. Well, of course, people who know me now will say, no way, no way she's a shy person. But let me tell you, I was a very shy girl in school. So obviously I heard, we've got chat groups, with our classmates and stuff like that. But, ladies, why I'm telling you this is because those of you who are present here and those of you who are joining us online, you have a voice. A voice. You have got to inspire yourself. If you do not push your limits, you will forever be behind. Okay, and today we're seeing fantastic results. It's proven. We're seeing the fantastic feedback that we've got from the resilience of what women have actually done and how we are actually gaining that traction in today's world. I from a very shy person, I was pushed to the forefront. Exactly what I'm doing right now. They gave me a mic and they said, Stella, we want you to do an MC, and that was where I started my career in the hotel industry. I came out as public relations. Public relations those days was no way much about talking about marketing today, mass communication. Those days, I'm talking about 26 years ago, it was all about coming up, doing MC, running an event, and trying to get engagement from people. Can you imagine? I was holding the mic, my hands were really trembling. And of course, at the early age, with due respect, many of my friends said, well, take a gulp of drink, because that's going to calm your nerves. But you know what? It wasn't that. I needed to have the acceptance from the people. And I told myself, as long as I kept my eye on someone whom I could trust, that's what you do. So tip number one, ladies and gentlemen, because the gentlemen are supporting us, right? So we cannot forget the pillar, because the pillar for me is my husband. I would not have been here if it wasn't for his support, and my mom. So we're inspired by our moms as well. Women, I know how and what we go through. We have to juggle between work, family, and everything else, okay? So I climbed the ladder, just like what Rahima and everyone else has said here. I was given the opportunity to run a hotel. And those days, we're talking about 26 years ago, it was a man's landscape. General managers were only men in suits. And if possible, the owners would like to only employ expats. There you say it's positive. So, can you imagine how difficult that was? Because I had to be in that space of finding my voice. And not only finding a voice, but really trying. I went through that whole landscape of, could I do it? Should I do it? And it was in sales that I started off. And I told my husband, I don't have that. I have fear. I don't think I could do it. But you know what he said? He said, your daughter said, well, you never try, you never know. So there you go. Ladies, I urge you to push your limits. Don't give up at the first try. Don't give up, because each time you fail, you're learning something. So take that as a takeaway. And eventually, I became actually one of the first local GMs for the Intercontinental Hotels Group. Thank you. In MIM, I'm so glad, because we talk a lot about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence, somehow or other, I think God's been really great. He's given the female folks a lot of EI. We feel, when we talk from our heart. And we speak a lot about this. And today, when we talk about inspire inclusion, it's all about from our hearts. So, I'm going to be asking this. Any of you who have got questions, please feel free to raise the questions to our panelists. And for those who are joining us in hybrid, please do post your questions, and I'm happy to have them have our very, very honored panelists here to take your questions. So to go with the very first one, and I'm going to pose this to Varsity first. I loved what you've put up there in terms of getting 87% of engagement scores up. I'm very sure everyone who is here and everyone who's joining us would love to know, maybe in 3 points, what were the 3 things that you did to get to the 87%?
You can.
Okay. As I mentioned, this is my 3rd year in the organization, right? For the first 6 months to 1 year, I struggled a lot, okay? Because the team just got to know me, I just got to know them. I'm actually opening up a can of worm. I'm actually taking the cupboard out, looking at what's under the cupboard, right? So, also understanding what my employees feeling and what do they want out of it, right? So I was actually listening a lot. I put my hands and feet at the ground. I went to region, I went a lot. So I listened. So there were a few steps that I could take immediately, and there were a few steps that needs to be done only after that number one and number two steps is done, right? So HR in the sense that if you want to do succession planning, but the fundamental is not right, you cannot do it. If you want to do succession planning, if you don't have a really good performance rating structure, don't talk about succession planning. It will just crumble. It will just defeat the purpose, right? So in a sense, I have to make sure that the fundamental is right, right? So having the right policy, having the right process, throwing away the unnecessary process. I always ask, is this a tick in the box? Or even like a simple thing like having recruitment document, or what? Why I go asking 20 over documents? Right? Simple as that. It's about employee experience, right? Why is this HR? I feel the same. Why is this HR asking me all these documents? I don't feel this related. Simple as that. Has put emotional stage of my perception to this organization. As simple as that. So I was challenging the team as, is this tick in a box or it has purpose? So if it's tick in a box, get rid of it. If it doesn't make sense for you to do this, get rid of it. So if it's a 10-step process, can we shorten it to 5? Or can we reduce certain things? So I was always challenging them. So I was understanding and also challenging them. And then taking the employee experience very importantly. Employer is my external stakeholders, but my employee is my stakeholders as HR, right? People is the most important asset in an organization. So I put a lot of myself in their position, in their shoes, and I want to make sure that I have a seamless employee experience from start to the end. I want to value my people who will come on board. I want to also say thank you for servicing me. I hope you have a good journey outside. If you want to come back, do let me know. Right? So I want to have that great employee experience all out towards your employee journey with us until you leave, either you go out retirement or you leave for another great opportunity out there, right? One thing that we implemented last year was having flexi benefit. So there's a lot of criticism, right? There's no one size fits all to an organization. Somebody is single for benefits, right? Somebody is family with 5 children. Somebody is there's also the background, right, in an organization, and you all have tried to cater to all the needs that the employees have. So we introduced something called flexi benefit that is very different than the other flexi benefit that we have. Usually the flexi benefit that most organizations do is you reduce certain things and you get certain things. You reduce your medical benefit, you will get certain things and things like that. One system, right? It's actually not losing it now. That's how they manipulate things, right? Okay, that's a secret. Okay. So, but we don't do that in HR. I tried, actually, it took me quite some time to do study back and forth with the board, challenging things, also looking to the budget and things like that. We do not reduce any of the medical benefits. We don't do that. And those benefit that is there is to stay, but we give more on top, a flexi benefit based on your needs. So if you're single, you think, I have parents that medical bills and things like that, you can choose out of your tax benefits to reduce this. If you have a good healthy BMI, that will give you extra point yearly. 2 times we weigh them, to see if they're okay. Half yearly, 300 points. 1 point equals to 1 ringgit. What we do. So if you are healthy and well, mental, physical, easily you get 600 ringgit or 600 points out of nothing. So those are the flexi benefits that we do, and we try to program it to cater to everyone in the organization. So when one of the survey that we did, most of them were really happy and really appreciate in terms of the benefits and flexi benefits that was stated there. Also, transparency, communication. Now we really talk to them, we really communicate to them so they know what's happening. So again, certain questions were just planted inside them. So I know, like, for instance, if you know HRDCorp, you know where our office is at. We are in the smack right center of a construction area and a traffic area, which I just purposely asked, what do you think about our location and how do you feel of our landscape of our things like that? It was just a question that I purposely planted. So they were happy. Well, I mean, I know. I just don't want them to voice out, right? So I want to hear their voice. I know for the fact, but I need to clean up on something, right? So that I can work on things, I think this is the gap that you can introduce and produce. Yeah? So other than that is voice to speak up, right? So those are actually questions that they're common questions there, but they're also questions that I just purposely planted to see how they feel about it. So having 87% is actually quite good in that sense that even our performance scale, we ask them, do you think that you're placed fairly? And we backed it that with backquote with the performance rating that we had for 2022. And it was actually the same. They feel fairly rated against the backquote that we have. Even our consultant says, you know what, this is not usually happening in any organization. We just wanted to show you that what you did somewhere along the way, you did the right thing. So, which is not easy, I tell you. I changed the whole entire thing, and then from having it from a physical form to digitize it into a system and things like that, and having it clearly rated and things like that. It was not an easy journey. It was not taken easy. Or, there were a lot of resistance as well because we changed the methods and things like that. People who were there for senior staff, I would say, 15 years, 20 years, were not happy that we are changing this. And so-called that the understanding to get them to understand that balance scorecard also took us years to explain. The first year was not. I had a lot of issues and challenges. I was like, why so hard I did not get this now? The second year, okay, there's some improvement, 50% of it. The third year, this year, when we did the calibration, we could see a lot of change. But it took the journey. No, culture is not it's a marathon, I would say, right? Culture is always a marathon. So what you planted today, you can only see most probably 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, but you must never stop doing it. Right. So most probably what I've done in my first year has concluded, and what fundamentals that I put in and what we have introduced has concluded to the results that has taken to place that we have received.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So a round of applause. I can simply by hearing you speak, we feel that you've really come a long way. And you know what, ladies out there, don't give up. You plant the seeds. Just remember this. If you're an ardent gardener, and I know some of you are, right? If you plant a seed and you expect it that in a week's time it's just going to grow, it's not. It will fail at some point in time for some reason or rhyme, either because you put too much water, or maybe you put it in the sunlight or whatever it is. But the thing is, fundamentally, I'm going to bring you back to understanding people. If you take the trouble to understand, you seek to understand, and listen is fundamentally an important point, a skill that many of us leaders fail to remember. So if you listen to the team, take action, and you'll see the results. So congratulations, Positi. It's really amazing because to get 87% is a huge, what do you call it? A huge challenge, I would say. And the thing is, this year, it's got to go even, it's got to be at least 87 or more.
Yeah, that's my team challenge. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much. Well, my next question is going to go on Rahima. We've seen all the accolades that you've actually got, and it's so inspiring. The thing is, maybe what you could share with all of us here today is fundamentally the encounters and the challenges, specific, maybe 2-3 points that you could share, and what are the tips that you'd like to give them? Because for some who are just starting that journey, right, and how do they actually start to get into that engagement and not give up too easily? Maybe 2-3 tips. So who wants?
Thank you, Stella. Many tips. Interestingly, I really admire the journey that you went through with Puan Siti, and it is also in 3 years that you have achieved this is really something to be proud of, yeah. And 87% employee engagement with women on the senior level. So really, you have surpassed the benchmark as well, yeah. So I think what is it exactly that we are looking for? The tips is that many of the women, they are good, they have huge potential, but this self-limiting belief and blocking them, emotionally they are very stressed, especially when thinking of taking another role, being promoted and so on. No? And interestingly, when people want to promote a person, when it comes to promoting a woman, they will look at what she has done before to testify, to make sure that she can be successful. But for the men, they look at whether they have potential or not. Yeah, so that's the difference. And I've also been coaching a lot of middle management women, especially. Yeah, my coaches are mainly women, and they all have high aspiration. But when I talk to them, looking at what's going on today in the world, look at 2024 is going to be even more thunderous and even more challenging. And they all are struggling with their life. The work-life balance, the family, and so on. They point, where do I have the time to look at my career and so on? And even there is opportunity to come, always the thinking of, I'm not there yet, I'm not ready yet. What ladies and guys, whoever it is, yeah. Most important, we always think, especially women, we want to be ready, fully ready to take up whatever, because we have a very high standard on ourselves. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But the guys, they don't care, they jump wagon. They will just jump and do it, whether can do it or not, we look at it. That is secondary, you know. So but we all will analyze and analyze until we become paralyzed.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we will have 1001 question playing. Our emotional state, like you mentioned, truly, emotionally, are we steady or not? Can we manage those triggers, the negative triggers, the unpleasant? How do we manage? How do we overcome those things? That is a real challenge. Yeah? But when I'm coaching these people, and it is just like creating the awareness, wake up, yes. And like I think Ms. Shanti mentioned, how can you inspire them? You be the role model. You can inspire 5 people in a day or in a month, you will really escalate. So my journey, what I walked through the journey, I know what they are going through, I understand them very well, and I believe it is all the mindset, everything inside. So women, we have all this thinking, limiting ourselves, and we have all these stereotypes and so on. And interestingly, International Women's Day has been a decade, more than a decade, right? And the target is to achieve by 2030 about diversity, inclusion, and equality or equity, right? Yeah. So we are not very far. So will we achieve it or not? That's the question. If each and every woman don't inspire another woman, it's still a long way to go. So I think, like you mentioned, to be a mentor. Of course, I also had mentors. You need mentors. And remember, you need coaches like us as well. For you to be successful, yeah? So it's just believing. How can we ensure that you have your own belief and you believe that you can do it? We have all this struggle. You look at the women who have climbed up the career ladder successful. Do you think that they didn't go through all the obstacles, all the barriers? They went through that. But because, and also very important, the workplace is one thing, yeah? Our home is another. So most important for women, do we have a stable mindset at home or not? Yeah? Do we have peace or not at home? And a lot of time bosses will say, hey, women, when you have problem at home, leave it at home and come to work. Yeah? But we are human, we cannot leave, especially women cannot leave. It will be lingering in our mind. Right? Men, okay, they will just let go, they forget actually. Oh, not so sure. Because I know. Yeah? And also, behind your success, very important to have a man, your husband. Is he supporting or not? For me, I think all this while, if without the support of my husband, I will not be where I am. He has been always encouraging. Until today, he will still encourage me. My children ask me, one in the US, one in the UK, and one in Siemens Malaysia. Yeah? And they ask me, Mom, what are you chasing? I've retired. I am almost 70 years old. We don't look like one.
No,
Yeah.
like one.
Yeah, I'm proud to say that. Yeah. What are you chasing? I said, I'm chasing my passion. Yeah, when I chase my passion, money comes in now. Yeah, so it is all. And one thing I want to share in terms of employee engagement in Siemens, I also have my team also all ladies. So how can I develop them? I must say I am happy and proud to say I have basically left the people behind me who are also now successful. But the saddest part of that journey is that when I am almost retiring, looking for successor, I had a team of 3 or 4 of them really ready and can pick up. And they all were reluctant. They were not ready to take. Say, Puan, I'm not ready yet. This is a hot seat. I'm not ready yet. I say, you will never be ready. Just jump. No, Puan. Until we have to bring in from outside. Yeah. So that is sad as well. But the thing that I'm still proud, and all of them today are heading division HRs, having regional roles, and I have really groomed them up. I'm still proud and they are still in touch with me. I'm happy for my team. That's about all I want to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Maragima. The passion. And you know what? Passion is in all of us. I see you nodding your head. And without passion, right, I can tell you this, if you don't love your job, who is going to make you love your job? How are you going to wake up every day and say, yes, I'm ready to make that difference? Tell me, right? Because I speak from experience. If you don't have passion, it's going to be really hard to come into work every day because you're going to tell yourself, okay, you're either going to have positive vibes or negative vibes. So what's best? Because we want to look young, we constantly want to drive, we're constantly looking for challenges. We're never shy to take on any challenge. Am I right? Women out there? Yeah? So, there you go. Passion, I think, is so important. And it's wonderful to hear the tips that Puan Rahimah has shared with us. Don't give up. Because the pillars of our strength is either husbands, boyfriends, partners, but they are the ones that are inspiring us and the backbone to giving us that support. Because I share the same with Puan Rahimah. My husband's retired. So can you imagine? He's retired and I'm busy with running around here and there. He is passionate into golf, so he's playing out of 3 times, maybe sometimes 5 times a week. So yesterday, what I did was, I said, I need to go to Ipoh. He says, okay, I'll drive you. But I said, not only that, after Ipoh, you need to drive me up to Alostar. He says, okay, and after Alostar, what happens? I said, well, you need to drive me up to Alostar Airport so that I could take the flight up to be here today. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. They always say the way to a man's heart is through his tummy. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
And I'm sure. I mean, apart from all the stress of work and keeping up to date with our kids, because kids, right, when we nurture them from young, we go through the different milestones. When they are small, it's a different issue. As they grow big, but constantly thinking, females, especially mothers, we're never short of thinking and worrying for them. So here, the thing is, constantly push yourself and be resilient, because Parahima spoke so much about emotional, being resilient, and being aware of your surroundings as well. So thank you so much for this inspiring stories. Are there any questions from the panel? Ronnie, Ozil? Because I don't want to forget that we've got guests who have also registered. No open questions yet? Okay, so I encourage our guests who are signing in online to please share or bring up any questions you have. So, finally, and I'm just worried about time. I'm not sure how we are with timing. Habib, please keep me in check, because when you give me the mic, it's very hard for you to take it away, And I also want to hear from our guests here. So, without further ado, final panelist. Thank you so much, Ms. Shanti, for taking my call so early in the morning and said, I need SOS. And whenever she calls me or I call her, we know that, okay, I always remember this. Agility is one. Oh. And she is so agile. So ladies, we are so agile. Men, I think so. Maybe you need a little bit more of that. Because sometimes you put your mind to something and it has to be like that. And that's why my kids always say, Mom, please talk to Dad. So, sidetrack. Because I want to make sure that you're inclusive in this conversation as well. Today, I know we're talking about International Women's Day. But you know what? International Women's Day is a celebration today, but every day you cannot live without the women. Am I right? Men? Okay, so ladies,
they never clap for it, they must clap for it.
Yeah, have to clap. We want to make sure that the men here are also inspired. Okay, so finally, Shanti, throughout the journey I've had with you with us, and over the years we've been going through so many journeys and stuff. And you belong to so many NGOs. And not only that, Shanti, I don't know how she juggles the time. At any point in time, at any hour, right, you WhatsApp to her, she will always answer. If it's not today, it will be the next day. And how she juggles and how she puts her mind, how she frames her mind to addressing this, despite having a class tomorrow. And her sessions are not just rudimentary about just delivering trainings. It's about coaching. And coaching has got methods to it. You coach people with different skill sets. They come with all kinds of everything. Now tell us how, because I'm very sure there are people in the audience who may want to follow that lead. Because this will inspire. You spoke so much about inspiring inclusion, the things that you're doing, and you've got about 700 students now. And today we're talking a lot about the digital space as well. Can you give us maybe 2 tips? Because I know you've got more than that.
Thank you. Sure, for sure. And be mindful of time, right? So I would want to wrap up by saying that everything that we want to do, number one, is it starts with being resilient. Because as being a woman in a corporate world in there, and now we find that resilience is so important. But it's easily said than done.
Yeah.
It's really easily said. You know, sometimes you don't want to cry during interview. Especially sometimes in the coaching, and the coachee gives you some sad story, you're like, Shanti, don't cry. Right? Hold the tears kind of stuff. I mean, being resilient here, as I said, is something that requires work, guys. All right, you have to fortify your, and, you know, I would say, I always use this word in Malay, perkasakan diri you. You have to perkasakan diri you with the right mindset. I don't want to be sounding so theoretical here, but I'm saying this is the truth of the matter is all up here. All right, and God has a reason perhaps of putting it right up here. All right, because this definitely affects the way you see things. It affects the way you say things and the way you feel. All right, so everything, the motherboard is up here, and resilience starts. All right, but you having the right kind of mindset. So spend some time looking at what is the kind of mindset I need to have. All right, if you are in the corporate world and you're looking at driving the inclusive agenda, then what is the kind of mindset I need to nurture in in the organization? What kind of mindset should everyone, as I said, being aware of the diversity, age diversity, gender diversity, or even in terms of people, have different thought processes. How do we align it, and bring it together? So we need to be resilient and work on it, and it starts with here, all right? And the second one is plan. And that's the part where, as I said, I love supporting entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, right? And I would say, you can't close your eyes and say, God, give me the business. God, give me this. So everything boils down to plan, all right? And it means, and like what you said, don't need to be too ambitious, just 3 things, right? 3 things. What are 3 things I need to do differently? Something you can coach yourself, right? Asking, what are the things I need to do differently in order to, to take wherever that I am. So whether, as I said, again, from a business perspective, for women out there, right? This year, 2024, right? What are the 3 things that I can do differently? Because if every year, last year and this year, same strategy. Last year, this year, same product, same, everything is same, then things are going to be the same. All right. So we need to drive a lot of innovation and improvement and enhancement. All right, growth. All right. Recently, sorry, a bit. When somebody said, Shanti, I attended a session and they said, how do you pitch yourself? And I was like, how do I pitch myself? And I decided finally, I said, okay, somebody said, what do you do? I'm a growth enabler. So that is, when I'm saying we have to be innovative even in branding ourselves. In branding ourselves. So my, as I said, in this penutup tirai thing, all right, have the right mindset and have plans, all right, clear plans on how am I going to do things differently. In terms of this year, okay, 3 things. 3 is very bite-sized, because I'm very agile, right? So just look at bite-sized things that you can do, and for sure, those things that you're doing differently will produce the results. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
So, ladies and gentlemen, panelists, I want to share so many more things. But you know what? I'm very sure when we run our next webinar, we can count on your support. I want to thank you for taking the time to join us in this session today. Very, very important. Yeah, Puan Rahimah, you say something before you close. I have one more. Oh, okay. You see, I know this will never end, because as soon as we have the mic in our hands, right, it's so hard to stop, right? Because our minds are constantly thinking. And you know what? The thing is, it's about the passion, the mindset. And when women, and that's why I think, God created men and women.
Yeah, we talk more.
Yeah, we talk more. And then details you never listen. But you know what? Perfection was one other word that I took away from here. Because I had, in the hotel, whether you call it OCD or whether you're a perfectionist, you always want to be sure that you're doing the best. Not only for your employees, but for yourself, for your stakeholders, and for everyone out there. And because in the hotel line, right, there's so many hotels. So how do you challenge that? How do you make that difference? And that's where I told the team, you got to have the passion. You come through challenges, trials, and tribulations. But if you have resilience and you are keeping to that promise, because you tell yourself that's where you want to go. The North Star is telling you that's where you want to aim. Keep to that, ladies. Don't give up. Okay? Our DNA is built to take everything. Every catastrophe, we will be able to manage. Okay? Yes, Puan Rahimah.
Just one last thing, yeah. I have this question for the ladies lah. Men also, okay. Who do you love the most? I asked this question to the ladies in my coaching session also. I will share with you. Who do you love the most in your life? Suganti, can I ask you?
You asked me that before I got
myself.
Others, it would be to start with myself.
Yeah.
I think that there's a wireless mic.
I think that was hard for me to do because I love everybody else. So my family become first.
Yeah.
And what I realized is,
Ladies on. It's on.
what I realized is you've got to love yourself first. You've got to take care of yourself before you can be, productive, effective, and for anybody else. So that would be my answer now. After
I want to say whether you are right or not. Precisely. And most of the time when I ask the ladies, they will say, my children, but hardly listen about my husband lah. Most of the time. I mean, yeah, always their children. But I ask this question, when you take a flight, when you're sitting down, when emergency, the oxygen must drop, who do you have to put on
Yourself first.
Your child is so small, very important, you have to take care of the child or not. So what happens if you start putting for your child and you passed off? Yeah. So that's the reason why yourself is the most important. We are not being selfish, but take care of yourself. Physiologically, psychologically, mentally, and so on, because you are the most important person. When you are there, you are there to support your family, to support everyone else. If you are not there, if you are not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of the rest of the people in your family, in your organization, and everywhere? So ladies, we are strong. Make sure that we live. We fight for our right. Thank you very much. Sorry, Stella, I took out of your own time.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Just bear with me. We've got a question from our guests who have joined us through Zoom. I'm giving you away my age. I had to put my glasses on. I was trying very hard not to have my glass on, right? Okay, so this is from Mr. Ma Kong Ho. The question is this: in efforts to improve the gender balance, there might be differences between functions. Example, aiming to reach 50-50 balance, but some departments, functions, have fewer or more women. We try to increase the number of women in areas where they are underrepresented. What about those where parity has been achieved or higher? Do we then focus on the areas with fewer women and increase the number of men in the others? Or do we do the former only? Some people would wonder whether we should also try to achieve gender balance in work areas such as nursing, construction, etc., where one gender is traditionally dominant. Siti, I can only think that you might be the best person, and Puan Rahimah and Shanti, if you'd like to chime in, please do so. Thank you.
Okay, maybe I'll start this way. Actually, when we introduce this Women's National things, and we're talking about gender barrier things, is usually women are underrepresented in all the industries, right? We don't talk the other way around. We don't discuss, we don't see, is men enough there or not? right? Correct. So it's, to me, like I said, when I showed the statistics there, 20% of representative of women in top management, it's most probably is because the quota is there. The gentleman's question just now is pretty much like we are putting a quota to every industry, every department, every place. But that's not the essence that I think the quota is a matter. But like I said, it should be based on merits. It should be based on competency. It should be based on passion. If you say nursing is something that women are dominant in, there is no door says that women only on nursing. Men are also welcome to be a nurse. And there are a few that I know personally as well. But why are men not passionate in becoming that? We don't say, don't come in, this is woman only. I don't believe so. So it's just said that if you are married, you're competent, you have passion in taking care of elderly, of people in sickness and things like that, and you must have a higher tolerance to patients, because they are just, they are in agony, they will just test your patients day in and day out. If you have that competency and you're able to do that, and it's your passion, please feel so, right? So it's, to me, is very importantly is not to recognize the quota, but to recognize every individual competency and ensure that there is inclusivity and diversity in that sense. And we will be able to flourish if we just have one gender dominant in one industry or in one department or in one division. You wouldn't expect to have such a great outcome. Because I give you an example. I won't say which organization I was with, okay, but my previous organization, okay, there's a lot, okay. So predominantly at the top, there is only one representative woman as a senior management there. Before the maternity leave was, was just recently that we got it enacted in our act that maternity leave is 98 days, right? Previously, it was only 60 days. So at that time already, I think it was like 3 or 4 years back.
Already 90 days, yeah?
90.
No, it was only 60. Only recently we had it 98 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only last year we had it enacted in the act that was 98 days. Previously it was only 60 days, right? So at that time, we have, being in a conglomerate organization, one of my colleague and our team was already pushing for 90 days. Okay? But that was petty to them. That was not looked into. Because why? Because there was no one at the top to get that buy-in. Because it was nothing to them. Everyone there was men. This is not important. Let's put aside. 60 days is enough. This is talking based on experience. We were trying to make our inclusivity and things like that. We were trying to make our benefits better and things like that. But it was so hard for us to push for the extra 30 days. We are already giving the extra 30 days if they want, but at 50% pay. We wanted to make it at 100% pay, but it was so hard for us to push it back because there was only one woman at the top. But now, say, if there's no act to push it, I think it will just stay forever 60 days.
Correct.
Right? Yes. So this is where I'm saying that it's just not, we want to make sure that not because we want to get any gender dominant in any area, but we want to make sure that in this inclusivity is for the success for the organization and that department or division or whatsoever. Yeah, if I answer the question.
Yes, thank you so much, Puan Siti, for sharing your opinion, and I totally concur with you because when we talk about even the different industries, engineers, it was always about men who are engineers. But you know, today I've actually through the career of my time here, I've actually come across a lot of female engineers, and I'm like, wow. So just like in the space of nursing, right? It's always really female dominated. But today, just like you, I've also come across male nurses, and a lot of them also take postings out in the Middle East because obviously salary, yes, you know. So with that, I hope Sama will answer your question. Are there any questions from the floor before we wrap up? Because I'm really mindful. I think we've exceeded time here. But we also want to give you the best from this session. So, any questions from the floor? No? Okay. And with that, thank you so much, Siti, Rahima, Shanti, for taking time out today. Thank you very, very much.
As we conclude our panel discussion, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists, Puan Rahima Ibrahim, Puan Siti Suryati, and Ms. Shanti, for their invaluable contributions and insights. Your expertise and thoughtful perspectives has enriched our discussion and provided us with a deeper understanding of the importance of fostering inclusive workplaces. I would also like to express our appreciation to our moderator, Ms. Stella, for skillfully guiding the conversation and ensuring that we covered a wide range of important topics. Your expertise and leadership have been instrumental in making this discussion fruitful and engaging. Before we conclude this remarkable event, we would like to take a moment to express our gratitude to our esteemed speakers for their insightful contribution to today's panel discussion. In recognition for their dedication and expertise, we have prepared tokens of appreciation for each of them. To present these tokens, I would like to invite Yang Berusaha, Mr. Azlan bin Abdullah, Vice Chairman of the Malaysian Institute of Management, accompanied by Mr. Kabinesh Eliatambi, Acting Chief Executive Officer at the Malaysian Institute of Management, to join us in front.
Yeah. How shall we do it? This way? Okay.
Okay, starting off with Puan Siti Suryati Kama Asnawi, Chief Human Resources Officer of the Human Resource Development.
Thank you for this. Right.
That's cute.
It matches your attire today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Followed by Ms. Shanti Subramanian, Council Member of the Malaysian Association of Women in Digital and Technology.
Shanti. Shanti? Thank you, Shanti.
And finally, Puan Rahima Ibrahim, Director at the Malaysian Institute of Management.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the beautiful talk. Thank you.
We also extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed moderator, Ms. Stella Jacobs, for her outstanding facilitation during today's discussion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Please organize. How shall we do it?
We can stand. Yeah.
Maybe Saslan.
Yeah, God enter. Both of us. We were playing.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
So next one.
Okay, now we're balanced. You see?
Yeah.
The men and the women, inclusivity.
Yeah.
Oh, without our gifts? Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Before we conclude today's session, we have a special segment to honor the graduates of our Diploma in Corporate Governance and Compliance, the 2022-2023 intake. Today, we celebrate the dedication and hard work of these individuals who have completed their journey in corporate governance education. Each graduate has demonstrated a commitment to excellence and a passion for advancing their knowledge in this vital field. To present the certificates of completion, MIM Basel Diploma in Corporate Governance and Compliance, we would like to call upon Puan Siti Suryati, the Chief Human Resources Officer of the Human Resource Development Corporation, accompanied by Yang Berusaha Mr. Azlan bin Abdullah, Vice Chairman of the Malaysian Institute of Management, and Mr. Kabinesh Eliatambi, Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Malaysian Institute of Management. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Now, calling on the participants, starting with Bukhari Mokhtar.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
Followed by Dr. Azura binti Shamsuddin.
Yeah.
Followed by Zaidi bin Muhammad Zahari.
Congratulations.
Followed by Ruby Sal Nizam binti Zukri. Followed by Christine Niam Yuet Meng.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And finally, Moon Ying Yuet Leng.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks a lot. Oh, yeah, come on. Yeah, come. Yeah, come. Yeah. And some of you are here and some of you can. Yeah, show your plate. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Puan Siti Suryati, Mr. Azlan bin Abdullah, and Mr. Kabinesh for graciously presenting the certificates of completion. Your presence and support are deeply appreciated. Now, we'll wrap up our session with closing remarks from Yang Berusaha Mr. Azlan bin Abdullah, Vice Chairman of the Malaysian Institute of Management.
Yes. Puan Siti Suraya, Puan Shanti, Puan Rahima, and Puan Stella, and members of the floor and those watching this seminar from online platform. Assalamualaikum, Salam Jumaat, a very good afternoon almost, and thank you for coming for this seminar. I thought I was given 10 minutes to do the wrap up. Okay, it was from 10:50 to 11. That was a quota given to me. So let's not use quota. The women use more than 100% of the quota. Today, as we conclude this seminar, I wonder whether I'm the right person to be here to do the wrap-up. Don't you think there should be another lady, the wonderful ladies, so many of you here, all right? It's okay. I feel that maybe we should look at the popular TV program. You remember Charlie's Angels? Okay, maybe some of you were not born, but now the program is still going on. In the Charlie's Angels, Charlie appointed the 3 ladies, okay, to do all the activities. Mission accomplished. Charlie was behind the curtains. Today, the curtain is unveiled, and Charlie here from MIM. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, I do not want to hold your time. So it has been wonderful listening to the exchange of views. Okay, we fully support what has been discussed, and we are very happy that MIM again hosted this very successfully. I think, yeah. And again, there's nothing much I will say because it's all done. Let me quote, okay, okay. There were some quotes given by some great leaders on Women's Day. Let me pick up some, okay. Barack Obama, the former president of the United States, he said, International Women's Day is a reminder of the progress, okay, we have made, but also the work that remains. The work that remains, he said. Now, then we look at what are the states? Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the US. International Women's Day is a reminder of the power and potential of women to shape the future. Okay? Then she continued, let us honor the women who came before us, uplift the women of today, and pave the way for the women of tomorrow. That's what she said. So there are many more, but I would like to keep it to 3 maybe. Okay. So, if that is said, what do we see from there? What they say is, there's much more work to be done actually. It is not over now. Okay? Let's not be too contented with what we have done. Now, so what has Charlie got to say from MIM? Again, see, the road to success is always under construction. Okay? So let's not finish there. If you want to succeed, okay, because we have to view success breeds success. So please continue in the pursuit of your activities and we'll see more successes coming. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Azlan, for your closing remark.
Yeah.
As we come to the end of our International Women's Day celebration, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to every one of you for your presence here today. Your support and engagement have made this event truly special. Together, we have shared inspiring stories, engaged in thought-provoking discussions, and reaffirmed our commitment to gender equality and inclusion. It's through gatherings like these that we continue to drive positive change and create a more equitable world for all. Before we conclude, let's also extend our thanks to our speakers panelists, moderators, and organizers for their tireless efforts in making this event a success. To conclude today's event, we would like to capture this memorable moment with a group picture. We invite all of you to join us in front for a group photo. Let's commemorate this special occasion together.